Howdy, folks. Welcome in magnificent Germany. We're Darren, and we're here with Magenta Otter Travels. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Great.
Good, good, good. I tell you, I've been watching your videos now for probably 2 years now. It's kind of crazy how time flies. I met you just strolling through, and it was all about Britain. And me personally, I want to learn more about Britain. I love England too. I know I'm all about Germany, but my ancestors actually come from England and Ireland, of all places. My mom's side, Ireland, and my dad's side, English. And the only German I have in me really is this piece of metal that I have in my leg when I broke my leg in Germany. So all my broken bones, either my back or my leg, came from Germany. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm going to learn more about.
Souvenirs you're supposed to get when you go to Germany.
Oh yes, exactly. Those are not fun souvenirs.
Yeah,
Now,
I think I started watching your channel because we went to in 2022. We went to Austria mainly and Italy, and then we just for part of the day I think went into Germany to Mittenwald. And so I watched your Mittenwald video. I know it was the first video I watched on your channel. But then in 2024, we ended up spending a month in Germany. So I think that's why our paths kind of crossed again on the YouTube.
I don't know if we got an answer to the question though that you posed on the video. Is Mittenwald better than Garmisch?
It's right up there because it's really close to Garmisch. Now, did you get to Garmisch while you were there?
I have been to Garmisch, but it's been many years ago.
Right. It's all like a 20-minute drive from Mittenwald. About a 30-minute train ride, 20-minute drive if you have your vehicle, and each has its own feel. So it's hard for me to say better because I enjoy both, and just the atmosphere, the ambience of being there. I mean, it's just wonderful. I love Mittenwald, especially the violin. The violin museum. I'm a late bloomer in all things because a couple years ago I started playing violin. I'm still taking lessons. And I have been now for almost 2 years. So I'm past the stage. Now I'm getting I got a holding right. So little bit of time, but I enjoy Mittenwald tremendously. Now, when did you start your channel?
I'm sorry.
When did you start your channel?
Well, I got the idea and set up the channel in December of 2019 and filmed my first and published my first videos in January of 2020, which was kind of a crazy coincidence because I actually came here. We're sitting in our flat in England right now, and we're here 3 or 4 months every year over the summer, and the rest of the time we live in Texas. So I ended up having a little bit of an emergency situation with the flat where I had to kind of quickly come over here and handle a bunch of things in January of 2020. And we hadn't been living in the flat then. We bought it and we were renting it out. So I came over here not having a clue about COVID, but it allowed me to film some things in England, and then the plan was we were going to come back in summer of 2020 for a nice long visit, and then with COVID everything changed. So so many people started their channel during lockdown while they were trapped in their houses and thinking of new creative things to do. But I actually had started mine just a few months before COVID, coincidentally.
Wow. So was it both y'all's idea at the same time, or was it your idea, or
it's really my channel.
I just fly the drone. That's about it.
And he does a lot of the travel planning, but in terms of the actual channel stuff, I pretty much do all the filming and all that. I definitely do all the editing because that's the part I hate. I wish I could get into editing. That would be awesome.
Well, you do a great job editing, and the drone work is just immaculate. I mean, and the editing as well. So, but kudos to both of y'all for that. I mean, that's you're doing a great. What editing software do you use?
Wondershare Filmora.
Me too.
What people use that don't have the skills to use, what is it, Premiere Pro or
The
By
premier,
the real one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole reason we started the channel, or I started the channel, is we travel a lot. We love traveling, and we really love planning travel. So we would plan, we would have a trip every summer in Britain or, somewhere in Europe. And we would spend pretty much the whole year planning what we were going to do that time. And we started watching YouTube videos to help us plan places to go. Like, oh, we want to go to Cornwall. Where should we go in Cornwall? So we watch a whole bunch of videos. And I just noticed one day, because my background's marketing. I spent my career as a marketing professional. So I was watching all these videos, and I just had this thought one night in December of 2019. I said, Ian, all these videos we're watching are 20-something kids who quit their jobs and sold everything they own so that they could travel the world full time. And so they're showing us their experiences with traveling to these places, which is great, but the demographics of most travelers is they are middle-aged, retired, etc., because they have the time and the money and the flexibility to go do this, international travel. So there needs to be more channels of old people like us going around showing places. So that was my idea, naively thinking no one else was doing it. Obviously, there are other people doing it. I just hadn't found them yet, because the biggest channels are the younger creators. But anyway, that's just what started it. And what I felt like was unique for me, so for background, Ian was born a British citizen. So his parents are both English. And he became...
Hello, mate.
What?
I said, hello, mate.
Yeah. And he became an American citizen about 20 years ago. Yeah. So, so we have been traveling to Britain, forever. I'm a huge Anglophile, always have been. So we got married 33 years ago. At first we came to Britain together every year. And then once we started having kiddos, we slowed our roll down to once every 2 years. But we, brought our kids over with us as well and got them in the swing of things, because Ian has a lot of family here. He has family in the US as well as family here in Britain. So, we're traveling here so much that I am American. I'm an American citizen. I still live in the US most of the year, but I know a lot about Britain, and now I'm living here for months at a time. So I'm able to talk about Britain from the perspective of an American who's traveled here a lot. And there's certainly, a number of people who live in London who are American who talk about the experience, but not so many that live in the Cotswolds or that do what I do, which is just travel. The whole time I'm here, I'm traveling around. And a lot of times people are living here, but they're working or doing other things, so they're not doing so much traveling. So I thought that I had a unique perspective. What ended up being the surprise was, even though I created my channel, like my target audience was American Anglophiles who are planning a trip. I wanted them to be able to, hear about Britain and get ideas for where to go, or just learn about the culture through the eyes of an American. So really that was my target audience, was middle-aged American women like me. But who ended up watching my channel is British people, older British people, because
I see that in the comments too.
Yes, and I don't know what your experience has been, but are your viewers mostly Germans who want to hear you talk about Germany from an American perspective, or Americans who want to go to Germany?
A little bit of both. Here lately, the Germans been getting on there. I just hit over a little over 3,000 just last month sometime. I haven't looked in a couple days, I don't know, but here lately, I'm getting a lot more Germans. I mean, yeah, I get Americans too. They watch and they comment and everything, but like the one I just produced last week, about Americans retiring in Germany. It was all, it's a lot of Germans, everything. I was like, wow, so, but it's neat. It's neat to have both, American and the German, and others too. Folks from India. There's folks from India who I want to move to Germany too.
Right. Yeah, they're interested, and yeah, well, obviously, people from around the world are interested in England or Germany, as the case may be. So yeah, speaking of subscribers, I was just looking at my phone because I crossed 15,000 subscribers today.
Absolutely, and I was going to bring that up here. 15,000 subscribers, 428 videos, and that is pretty awesome, because just the other day it was like 14,900 something, and when I wrote this down, I was like, hey, that's 15,000. She's gaining some subscribers here for sure.
No, I watched the number crawl toward 15,000 for the last couple of days, and then then I dropped 5, and I'm like, come on, big money, cross the finish line.
But she actually had a lot of Germans watching her ancestry video that she did recently. So that was kind of interesting.
That was neat. Oh my goodness. My wife and I watched that together, and that was really, really neat. Going to those churches, especially the Reformed churches. You tell between that and Catholic and everything. I would love to walk in there. I absolutely love church history. I like going to Wittenberg. I take people there to Wittenberg all the time. I spent time by myself in Wittenberg, learning everything. Of course, the Wartburg Castle, all the places, Eisenach, all the Martin Luther stuff, and it's just intriguing to me. And when you're showing those churches and even the grave sites and everything, and you're walking around close to, I guess, where your great grandmother lived. You weren't sure the exact house, but and you show those half timbered homes there. Oh my goodness, that's something else. Now, Ian, I got a question for you. Do you have any roots for Germany in Germany at all?
I don't have roots, but I've always been fascinated. Well, I've been fascinated with Germany since I was in 5th grade.
Really?
When I was in 5th grade, there was a boy named Andy Bush from Mainz. And he was in my school because his father was doing a rotation with IBM there in the San Francisco Bay Area where I was living. And nobody else that I knew seemed to be that interested in Andy, but I just thought, wow, this is an exotic guy. He doesn't really speak much English. He's very interesting. And so I befriended him. And I remember I learned some of my first words, like Fenster for window and Ananas for pineapple, when I was in 5th grade with this friend from Germany. And I wish I could find him, but his name is so common, Andy Bush, that I haven't been able to locate him. And then I had a foreign exchange student in high school. I took German in middle school and then in high school. And I had a foreign exchange student from Fulda who came and stayed with me.
Fulda, wow.
So yeah, I've always had an interest in Germany and absolutely loved it when we went there. I think the first time we went was in 2003, 2004, somewhere around there.
I worked earlier in my career. I worked at 2 different Swiss chocolate companies.
No way.
When I was with Nestle, I don't think we ever traveled there, but when I worked with Barry Callebaut, we did travel. I did have a couple business trips to Germany and the area, and Ian tagged along so that he could do touristy things.
What a business to be in, having chocolate.
Yeah, they actually owned a castle in Germany on one of the lakes that's there in southern Germany.
Something or other. It was right on the border. Yes, the training facility was a Schloss.
Wow,
so that was fun. But yeah, so yeah, Ian has the British ancestry and speaks German, and I'm the one with the German ancestry, and I don't speak German. But
schlechte Deutsch.
There you go. There you go. Now, mine, like I said earlier, my dad's side's from England. My mom's side is from Ireland a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. Some came over during revolutionary times, you know, all that stuff, and just over the years. But I'm from Florida originally. I'm a Florida boy. I'm a go Gators. But oh, speaking of that, being from Texas, are you Texas A&M or Longhorns or either?
Well, we're not really sports fans of anything with any sport, but we have two sons, and our younger son did attend University of Texas at Austin. So between those two teams, we'd have to say
Go Horns up, huh? There you go. I got friends from Texas, and they're some Longhorn, some I call them the ATM machine, A&M, and everything. And it's funny we get right in the middle, just like Florida, Florida State. I got family in Florida State, Florida. I'm Florida, you know, and it's a lot of fun. But
there's Stanford and Michigan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wow.
So, big rivalries always, right?
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what, and as long as the people are having fun, you know, if people get all too serious, that's not me. You know, if I could dish it, I could take it. You get some people who dish and they can't take it. I have no time for that. It's like, oh my goodness, it's a game. It's fun. You know, you're supposed to have fun, not get all serious about it.
Definitely don't take that too serious.
Right. But my dad was in the United States Army, and we were stationed in Germany as a kid. When I was a kid. So I lived in Germany 4 years as a kid in a place called Gießen, Germany. And that's where I had my first spaghetti ice. Oh, East Liebe spaghetti ice. And so I got many memories of that. And then later on, I went in the military myself. I served in the United States Army, and I was stationed in Germany. That's another whole story how I got there, but I'll be here forever. But of course, spaghetti ice came up. And everything. So I spent 2 years in Schweinfurt. I was stationed in Schweinfurt, Germany. I like on my wall here, Schweinfurt. That's the town Schweinfurt. And Ausfahrt means exit. So exit Schweinfurt. And then below that is Dario Fontanella, which is the inventor of spaghetti eyes. I actually got to meet him and interview him in one of my videos, and he made my spaghetti eyes for me. He made it for me.
The OG, that is amazing.
Oh yes, yes, and then what happened was I made it in Mannheim. I go to Mannheim all the time, but this time I was intentional. I want to go to the place where it was made. I went to the original cafe. Well, I get there, I'm sitting down. I have my spaghetti eyes. I don't want to be all starstruck. Hey, is Dario Fontanella here? I'm just eating my spaghetti. I just politely asked, "Is Mr. Fontanella here?" He goes, "Oh no, he's not here today." I'm like, "Okay," and I was fine with that. I'm in the right spot. But then the guy kept talking, and he said, he's at the other location. I'm like, there's another location in Mannheim? He goes, yeah, 2 blocks that way. I'm like, no kidding. So I grabbed my backpack. I was by myself. Grabbed my backpack. I found it, and I'm sitting there. And I kid you not, I'm sitting there. You know, the outside patios. I love that stuff. Sitting outside, you know, coffee or whatever. This guy came over. The waiter, Reno. His name's Reno. He's from Italy. And I said, hey, is Mr. Fontanella here? Busy. He says, busy. I said, okay, well, I said, don't bother him. I'm fine. May I have a spaghetti ice, please? And yeah. He goes, why? Yeah, why? I said, oh, because I love spaghetti ice, and I have a YouTube channel, and I'd be kind of cool just to just say to him, but if he's busy, and I was pleading with him, please don't bother him. I don't want to bother anybody. And he goes, busy, but he took my card. I had a card, and he took my card. I didn't think anything of it, you know. Well, next, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm just mind my business. And I see this guy take off his apron, looking at him. I'm looking, I'm not paying attention. And here's this guy with a big old pile of spaghetti ice walking towards me. Now I'm the last table by the road, by the walkway. And I'm sitting there, wow, whoever's getting that, boy, man, that's their day right there. And I'm looking, and he came right to my table, and he goes, Bailey. I went, look around. Me? He goes, yeah, Bailey. He goes, Viva la spaghetti. You're Mr. Fontanella. Yeah. Because I made this for you. I was like, what? The other guy went and told him and everything. I was like, man, this is great. And I said, I know you're busy. Can I just take a picture and just a really quick video, which I did. It's about maybe 20 seconds long. And we did that. Viva la spaghetti. And it was great. But and especially his name's Dario, Dario, and I'm Darion, Darion. So you just add an N, and spaghetti ice was born the same year I was born. I'm telling my age, 1969. But you know, go figure. But it was great. It was great. But it took me.
Love spaghetti eyes.
It is good stuff. I can tell you from my experience, good stuff.
Oh, isn't it great? Isn't it great? And I loved y'all's video. I watched that the other day too. You're at the Fontanella in Frankfurt.
Yes. Yeah, we wanted, well, because of you, I wanted to try spaghetti eyes. I've been to Germany before, but I didn't even know about it.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, so on this trip, I wanted to try it because of you. And we were in Germany for a month, and there we are, the last flipping day before we get on the plane and go back to Texas. I'm like, I still haven't had spaghetti eyes. So we just found, you know, we were in Frankfurt. That's where we had to find it. But yeah, we definitely thought of you when we were.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate that. But what a great parting gift, though. When you're leaving, I'm like, oh, spaghetti eyes. Oh my goodness. And speaking of Texas, the last channel that I interviewed, a couple, they're from Texas. I just we did a podcast just the other day. It was released on what's today? Saturday, Monday night. Europe, Pat.
Oh, they were from Texas.
Yeah, they're from Texas. Yeah. She's in accounting and he's a deputy sheriff right there in Texas. But they got plans to go to France and all that. But we now I love your description in your channel. You know, hiya, howdy. You know, I love that. I got a copy and a paste over here to my paper here. We are Dara and Ian, right? Like Sarah, right?
Exactly.
Where did I get that from? I'm just kidding. All right. So you're an Anglophile. I had to look up what an Anglophile was. I did. I admit it. I was like, what is that? So I'm looking it up. So someone fond of England and Britain. So I learned something new the other day when I looked it up here. Avid travelers who enjoy yummy food, cute critters, beautiful architecture, and scenic views. Follow us for our empty nester adventures and discussions of all kinds of British stuff from a home in Texas, in our home far away, or in our home away from home in Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire.
That's what I was going to say. Gloucestershire, England, or wherever we roam. Whether you live in Britain or just love Britain, we are happy to have you join the conversation. Thanks so much for your support and doing something good in the world today. I like that when you end your videos like that, by the way. Cheers, XX, Dara and Ian. I think that's awesome. You know, just reading that description, you could tell, you know, you not judging people, but reading people, you know what I mean? And just the way it's written here. And so Britain, that gave you your inspiration for the channel, right? From the get-go. I mean, yeah, 428 videos. That's a lot. I watched many of your videos. I still haven't watched all your videos. I'm gonna make that happen.
That's too many videos for any one person to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Now, see, I have a habit of I'm in my office right now, but in the living room, you know, because I want to be with my family, Jack. You know, I watch videos all the time on the big screen. I get, you know, the big screen, and I'll go back and comment. I forget to comment. You know, it's like, oh my goodness, and then next thing you know, you're forget to comment, and so.
Yeah. We also watch, we have our favorite channels of all of our friends who we've been supporting over the years, and we watch their video on the big screen, and then I'm sitting there with my phone, commenting.
Yeah, right.
Double views because we're watching Ian's channel on the big screen and my channel on the little screen, and I'm doing the comments.
Exactly. Hey, you got to tag team it, right? You got to tag team it. Now, how do you come up with different video ideas? What inspired you to?
The thing is, I am never short of ideas. I have ideas all the time, and then I'll get ideas for culture videos. So broadly speaking, I have two categories for my videos. I have culture videos, which is comparing Britain versus American,
Sure.
Whatever. And then I have travel videos. And the thing about travel videos is we spend so much time traveling that I'm always filming things, and I have way more content that I even can edit and publish. So
sure.
when we went to Austria 2 years ago, now it's 3 years ago. In 2022, we went to Austria, went to Italy, we visited the Dolomites, I mean, we visited the Dolomites. I've never done a video about it. I've never published a video about it. And we went to Vienna and ate amazing things, never published a video about it. So
Did you have any Vienna sausages while you're there? I'm sorry.
no, not a fan of Vienna sausages, but I did love the Wiener Schnitzel, and we tried the famous soccer tort cake, which was disappointing. And so yeah, I mean, we had lots of pastries.
Frankfurters in Frankfurt.
Oh yeah. Hamburg. I don't know if you've watched that. So here's an example of the crazy ideas I get. When we were planning our itinerary, here's our itinerary for last year when we were in Germany. And we're planning all the places we're going. And you know, because we fly in American Airlines, obviously we had to fly out of Frankfurt. So I'm like, okay, we're going to Frankfurt. And I guess Ian wanted to go to Hamburg. And so we
just had a relative that in Hamburg.
Yes, I did. I had a distant relative who lived in both Dusseldorf and Hamburg. Plus, I'd heard that Dusseldorf was a great place to visit. So we ended up spending most of our time. The one place that we were in the longest was Dusseldorf. And then Berlin, our son came over from Boston and joined us and traveled with us for a week with his girlfriend. And he really wanted to go to Berlin. So I'm like, okay, if we're going to Frankfurt and Hamburg and Berlin, I need to do a video about eating a Berliner, a Frankfurter, and a Hamburger.
Right.
So I did this video called Eating German Cities, where it's just us going and finding the best Berliner, going and finding
it was good.
going and finding some legit Frankfurters, and then going to. Actually, we discovered a hamburger chain that we love in Dusseldorf. So when we went to Hamburg, I'm like, we've got to see if they have a Hans im Glück there, which they did.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Have you been there?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
So we went there with both of our sons because, you know, that's another long story.
The forest theme too, all the tree trunks.
Yeah.
And it's right near the river. Not the main river. There's a
which city are you talking about?
Dusseldorf.
There might be more.
There's probably more than one.
Yeah.
So this one, you know, the building in Dusseldorf that is covered in hedges. It's one of the most amazing buildings you'll see.
I've seen it. I've been to Dusseldorf several times, but I have seen it. I don't know much about it.
Right there.
It's
right there by that building.
Yeah, it's in the ground floor of that building with the greenery all over it.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna check that out next time I'm there, without a doubt.
Yeah. So that was a crazy idea, and nobody watched that video, but we had a lot of fun filming it.
And what's the name of that? Eating German Cities?
Yeah, no, I mean, the algorithm doesn't know what to do with that name. So that probably didn't help me, but, and also the algorithm does not like it when I do videos outside of Britain. I get punished for doing that. So what can I say?
But, you know, I've seen it both ways because, you know, you do something totally off topic than what you normally do. I know what you're talking about, but then I've seen it where it blown up too. Different topics, but you just never know with that thing.
Video on our DNA. We filmed a video about our DNA results for both of us, and that just exploded. Like the second I published it, it just went gangbusters, and I was not expecting that because it's not my usual type of content. So occasionally, yes, that does happen, but yeah, like here's another crazy idea I had. It's Christmas time, and I was there in Texas, and I'm like, you know what? British people, and most of my subscribers are British people do not understand how much Americans hate fruitcake. And because to them, fruitcake is Christmas. And they also have fruitcake for birthday cakes, wedding cake. It's like a huge tradition. You have a fruitcake for your wedding cake, and the top tier you save until your first child's christening, and then you eat that cake at the celebration for your first child's christening.
It has
Really?
usually a lot of alcohol in it. Has marzipan on it, got covered icing on it.
Yeah, so they'll save them for years. So anyway, so like
In the
they're,
freezer, I think, right?
yeah, I think so.
Good.
There's so much alcohol, maybe they just shove it in the cupboard. But anyway, the point being, you know, it's such a cultural phenomenon. So yeah, a couple of years ago at Christmas time, I'm like, you know what, I should do a fruitcake video, because I think the Americans would learn a lot about how important fruitcake is to British people, and then British people would learn that it's a joke. It's literally the butt of a joke in the US. So I did that video just on a lark because I thought it would be fun, and that one was really popular. So you just never know.
You never know.
Yeah, the whole YouTube is such a roller coaster, but what, you know, another big surprise is for me has just been all the friends that I've made from subscribers and other creators. So,
That's a lot of fun in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's over 5.5 years. I've made a lot of friends, and I've visited YouTube friends I've made in Luxembourg and the Netherlands, and
Oh, the one where you were in a stable somewhere. You were in a stable and someone noticed you. What was that one?
Yeah, that was here in England in Blenheim Palace. Yes, that was. I've been recognized a couple times, but that was the one time that we actually shot a video about it.
Oh, that's awesome. I tell you what, it's a lot of fun to do that. You walking along and say, "Are you Darren?" I was like, "I don't know. What's your name?"
Am I in trouble? And then I'll answer.
All right. One that I love to share. This one. I've been recognized. I think I counted 7 times altogether, but one in particular. I have my buddy, a buddy of mine with me, so I approve. I'm sitting there on top of the Zugspitze down in Garmisch, okay, the highest peak in Germany. And I'm just sitting there, you know, that was my buddy's first time there. And I'm like, yeah, this is that. Over here is Austria Alps, Swiss Alps, all this stuff. All of a sudden, this big old tall Indian guy. I mean, when I say tall, he's probably 6'8", 6'9". Came up to me. He goes, "Excuse me, are you?" I'm trying not to do that accent. Are you Magnificent Germany with Darren? I said, "Yeah, I have a channel like that." And he called his wife over, which I found out it was his wife. Really short. He's a medical doctor, and she just graduated from dental school, and they're on their honeymoon. And then they're like, "Oh, we're so excited!" And everything goes, "We watched we never been to Germany, but we watched your video, and we booked a flight here, and here you are in the Zugspitze." And it was on the Zugspitze. And he goes, "Do you live here?" I'm like, No. I go to Germany every chance I get, but I don't live here." And but it was great. It was a lot of fun. Ended up talking for, I don't know, an hour. He just asked that. We took pictures and everything. He just says, "Please don't publish them." And I said, "Hey, I will not do that." So I never want to mess that up. But he goes, "We're very private people." I said, "Hey, don't worry, just between us."
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And another one was, I was in Schweinfurt, Germany, and I got many stories, but I'll just tell you this one more. I was walking in, same buddy, same trip, and we're walking in the hotel. We're staying at a B&B there, and this guy says, "Oh, excuse me, are you Magnificent Germany with Darren?" I'm like, "Well, it depends on the day." It was an American guy, and he came up, introduced himself, and I got him on video too, by the way. And he is a retired Army soldier. And he goes, "I was stationed in Schweinfurt a long time ago. Always wanted to go back, but I watched your Schweinfurt videos and inspired me to come back. And here you are." I said, "Yeah, well, all right." And we're friends to this day, So it's fun. It's fun. YouTube's fun to me. I enjoy it. It keeps my mind off. I'm dealing with chronic pain and stuff like that. Keeps my mind going. And like I was saying, I'm not a woe is me. I'm a whoa, let's go. I don't want to be sitting around at all. But questions about Germany. Okay, what are the differences in your experience, between England, Britain, UK, and Germany in itself? What are some of the major differences? It could be cultural. It could be anything. I know that's broad, but
Good question.
That is a good question.
I actually took a bunch of notes last summer of cultural differences between, because we spent 2 months in between Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium. And I had taken all these notes of like cultural differences in those countries versus the UK. And I was going to do a video about it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Let me just say a couple of things. One a positive and one a negative. So one of the positives in Germany and on the continent in general, where we went last year, which was the Netherlands and Belgium and Germany, is the cycling culture and the access to safe places to cycle. It's great in Germany, and I have
Netherlands is the best.
I have plantar fasciitis, so even though I love to explore, it's tough to go day after day after day on my feet. Whereas if I can get on a bike and I can go and bicycle around a town, then I love it. And that's what I spent a lot of time when we were in Germany. Yeah, when we were in Germany for a month, I spent a lot of time just cycling into neighborhoods, out of the touristy areas, just to really experience the real.
Yes.
It was so cool. And I really, really enjoyed that. The one thing, little annoyance, it's just a small annoyance, but in the continent in general, not just Germany, the fact that they won't serve you tap water, they're going to require you to buy a bottle of water, which is kind of funny to me because Europeans are so good about the environment and about caring for the environment, which I really love, and that we did a better job of in the US. But the fact that occurs, I don't understand that, because water in Germany is it tastes good if you take it out of the tap. It tastes perfectly good,
safe.
And it's safe.
Safe, yeah. Nothing in it.
Yeah, I would say that the public transportation system, while it's good here in Britain, it's better in Germany. I think you could do pretty well in Germany without a car, even though Germany's famous for its cars, and we actually own a BMW. We own a German car,
right?
And we really like it.
Yeah, I think there's more smoking on the continent than there is in Britain.
I don't know if it's in Germany, if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know.
In Belgium, I noticed a lot of smoking.
A lot in Belgium. Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
And Ian,
Yes,
one of Ian's two biggest pet peeves in the world are littering and graffiti. And even though there's a fair amount of graffiti around the UK as well, the fact that in places like Berlin, it's even on like beautiful historic buildings, which I don't think we really see that here in Britain. So that was a little mind blowing.
Yeah, I don't like seeing that, any kind of graffiti or nothing, and littering. It drives me crazy. It really does. I'm trying to mince my words here, but it drives me absolutely bonkers. Pick up after yourself. And it's embarrassing too. Because you hear Germans say, "Yeah, I came to America and get off the plane, everything's dirty." It's like, well, that's embarrassing, But it's not everywhere. But that particular spot, that particular opinion, it could make a broad opinion for everybody. But yeah, definitely. I love visiting Germany. I want to visit more of England. I want to get there and experience England. Charlie Corn. Charlie Corn. It's near Dover. It's just to the west of it, maybe about 60 k's. That's where the Glover family is from that area. So and a place up in the middle of the country as well. Of course, I got a brain freeze right now, but I would love to do that. Now, speaking of cultural, and I'm going to be here time here, but British humor and American humor. What are the differences that you notice?
So British humor is known for being rather sarcastic and rather dark. And we have a number of TV shows that we love, comedies that are just so dark. Like, and like, oh my goodness, they would never do this on an American TV show. So I'm not even to just describe it, but yeah, that's really funny. So we love watching British comedy and also just like the comedians like Michael McIntyre and the talk shows, chat shows like Graham Norton. So we love watching all that.
And when it comes to Germany, I enjoy watching German music videos.
Oh my
I like
goodness.
Schlager, you know, and
Oh yeah.
and
Terrible.
I love it. I love it, and just contemporary German music.
I love watching all the you know, like you of course you got Bavaria, you got Black Forest, you got different areas, different states in Germany, different regions got different aspects of culture. But I love Bavarian open music, you know. But even the songs, you know. Now remember Nina?
Yes,
Not,
of course.
99 Love Balloons.
Belong.
I'm gonna hope to go see her in concert next year. Hopefully, hopefully. Yeah, she just turned. I think she just turned 60. But that's gonna be really. Say again?
Dara is 60.
I turned 60 in Brussels, Belgium last year.
The video, yes. They did. Yep. You went to Belgium. You went to somewhere else too, didn't you? Did you go somewhere else? Did you go somewhere else?
Yeah, but my birthday was in Brussels.
It was in Brussels. Okay. That's been a while. So you and Nina, you could be Nina.
No, I remember when I came to Germany in 1985. That was my first time to Europe. I bought the cassette of that.
Oh, did you?
Of that album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check that out. Now, I was there as a kid in the 70s. I was in the 70s, but I arrived there in 87, 88 in Germany. And I got to see her, Depeche Mode. I'm a big Depeche Mode fan. And it's big, especially England, you know.
Yeah, but, we're huge Depeche Mode fans. I actually saw Depeche. This is before I was with Ian, but I saw Depeche Mode in Dodger Stadium in LA.
No way. That's awesome. My last time I saw him was in Atlanta 2 years ago. I got a video on my channel, as a matter of fact, where I merged Germany into it. I got Germany. I was eating at a German restaurant, waiting to go, me and my cousin, and I took bits and pieces of it, whatever. And but the first time I saw Depeche Mode was in Schweifert, Germany, in 1988. They had a concert convoy. They called it music convoy, and they were going to different towns in Germany, and they had a free concert at the city center. And because I remember, in middle school when I Just Can't Get Enough came out, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. Everything. I'm like, wow, look, they're here. And I actually rubbed elbows with David Gahn. It literally bumped into him and everything. Oh, excuse me. He goes, that's all right, mate, and everything. And that was it. That was all is to it. But he was very friendly. But they played the whole concert, and when he got through playing, he would go out and just talk to everybody. You know, him, the whole band, everybody, and it was really cool. That's my first experience. But I've seen him now 9 times in concert, Depeche Mode. So I need 10, and that was weird not having Andy there because he had just died about 6 months prior to when I saw him. But the last trip.
Some great Black Celebration albums, Some Great Reward, Black Celebration, and Violator. Those are my 3 favorite albums.
Okay, so this is funny. I don't think Ian knows this, but when I was editing my video of Minden, I went there for doing my family history research stuff.
Right. I need to go there.
I was filming and taking pictures of everything as we walk around the town. And as I was going through and editing the footage a couple of weeks ago, I found I had taken a picture of a little compact car with a huge Depeche Mode sticker in the back window.
No way.
They're in Minden, yeah. So I didn't include it in the video.
That'd have been so cool.
For time, but yeah, so the whole Germany Depeche Mode connection follows through.
Wow, that's great. This is awesome. I can't wait to make number 10. Seeing them, I need that 10. See them 10 times. Man, that is awesome. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Have you seen Depeche Mode in England?
Not in England, but I definitely need to make. I want to make that happen.
Yeah, there you go. That needs to be number 10.
Yeah, that should be number 10. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna make that happen without a doubt. Well, folks, I could be here for 10 days talking to y'all, but I'm going to be respectful of everybody's time here, and I just want to say a big thank you for accepting my invite to come up here. And the main reason, first of all, I think I love watching your videos. Have not seen all of them, but I watched a lot of them, and enough to say, you know what, these are nice people. I want to meet them and talk to them and everything. But I'm going to show my subscribers, who I like, and y'all are one of them. So I'm going to make sure to share you out, tell folks about you, to bring them to your channel and everything. In fact, I have a Facebook group on my Magnificent Germany with Darion, and I put your spaghetti ice there the other day, and I get messages all the time. Wow, I got someone else loving spaghetti ice and everything, and I said, well, yeah, check their channel out, and so that was pretty neat. But
that's really
yeah, very, very.
Oh, well, thank you. I love to meet you.
Because we can't get enough. Just can't get enough of Germany. We love. I really do love Germany, and I'm grateful that we had the chance to spend a month there. That was our 4th visit, basically, to Germany.
Wow.
That's definitely going to happen again in the future.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I heard you say you spent a month in Germany. I spent a month last summer myself, and I was there 31 days. I was there in June, and all over Germany. And I took 2 groups of people, 2 back to back. I'm not a travel agent. Don't want to be, not at all. But I take groups of people. We all split the cost, including me. We split the van up. Everybody boom, 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 and just have a ball just doing it. And my thing, I love taking people who've never been before. And because there's not one person I haven't brought there that hadn't booked a trip back yet, except one, and she just had some medical issues. But I'm sure she'll be booking a trip over there. But I love.
One fun thing we did last year when we were in Germany is we went to Rotenburg ob der Tauber for their Imperial City Festival, where they celebrate it became a city.
750th anniversary.
750th anniversary celebration. We were there for the first weekend in September last year. So again, I filmed hundreds of video clips to do a video about that. I haven't done it yet. We'll see if I ever do.
Did you see the Night Watchman? You see the Night Watchman there?
I've been on the Night Watchman tour in a previous visit to Rotenburg. But this time was really great because we stayed in a hotel right in the historic center, and we were there for several days. And so, it's kind of crazy during the day with the masses of tourists, but after things die down in the evening or early in the morning, it's just such a beautiful, peaceful place to be. Just the incredible history that's there, and then going down into the valley. We rented e-bikes. We went down into the valley, and then we took a ride along a path anyway that goes beyond, and it was beautiful. And then the fireworks that they did there, we watched those from down the valley below. It was amazing.
Yeah, well, and because for the festival, you have all these people dressed up in medieval attire, and they're, in groups, and they make these encampments where they're camping and they're eating the medieval food, and they're playing instruments and making music. And because we're staying in a hotel right there in the old town, we were in the middle of those encampments. So there was music and people, and food just all the time. So
Now, how far were you away from the Rat House or Kathy Wolfhart, the Christmas store? Were you right there in that area?
We were, yeah.
We were, 100 meters down the road.
They had a show where they projected things onto their Rat House.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And then they had all kinds of reenactors and that in front of it. And so that was amazing.
Yeah. I do need to do that video. I'll work on that video, but sometime.
That's all. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait and catch the rest of your Germany videos, as well as your Britain videos. No doubt. Well, in closing, is there anything you would like to close out with here, before we head on out?
No, just thank you so much for making the connection and giving us the opportunity to chat with you today. And it was fun to hear about your history and your connections to Germany. And it's just fun to meet fellow creators and fellow travelers, people who are passionate about learning about other countries and experiencing other countries and cultures and cuisines, because that's what we love too.
And we hope that you were able to fulfill that dream of retiring part-time in Germany, spending part of the year in Germany.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
we enjoy
that's fair. I mean, I don't want to sell my house here in Florida. I'm from here originally, and but been all over. But sort of like being a not a snowbird. I said in my video, a snowbird, but a beach bird. Spend time in Germany, come back home. Because I like to do both. But you just never know. You just never know. It's something that it's a dream. It really is. Really is. Long story short, I went back in 2008 after 19 years of not being in Germany, and since then I've been back 30 times.
Wow.
So that tells you. I did my 30th trip back in January. I went for a short trip. I surprised a friend of mine over there. I was only there 7 days, but I surprised a friend. And it worked out great. And flew into Amsterdam, and he popped up. He's in. Hey, it's a story how I got up in there, but it was a lot of fun. But
and does your wife speak German?
Just a little bit. She's not German. She's actually, her name's Colleen, and her ancestry is Irish. So, but we're going together.
First time in 2 months.
Yeah,
for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's great. Now I went to Dublin for the first time last June. I had a 21-hour layover, and I brought my son with me. He goes with me a lot and everything, and we did that on purpose. 21-hour layover. I'm like, okay, we could do that. We'll just sleep in the hotel. That's when or in the airport. I'm too old for that. He was fine. I was like, yeah, I could do it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not doing this again. I don't care if it's 4 hours. I'm getting a hotel. My short time I was there, I like to do it. I live in Ocala, Florida, and we have a sister city, which is in Newtown in Ireland. It's about 20 minutes away from Dublin, and so the sister city. I didn't have no time to go see it, but I want to one day. There's so much to travel, so much to do, and all that good stuff. Well, I'm gonna ask you to do something here. At the end of my videos, I usually ask whoever I have in front of me, or even if we're in person, to just say Dankeschön, Tschüss. And before we do that, I must tell you this. We're trying to say goodbye, and it's hard when you got great folks in front of you. But I have a meetup every single year in a place called Helen, Georgia. I bring with that next March is going to be the 6th annual Helen, Georgia meetup, and it's growing every single year. And they have spaghetti ice there too. There's a German ice cafe there. I bring the whole group there. We have spaghetti ice. They all know me. We all eat at the restaurant Hopbrow House. They all know me. I got them all there. He closes the restaurant down for us and all that stuff. But there's all types of YouTube channels, all different genres: travel, cruising, sewing, knitting, whatever. We just come. We became friends over the years, and it's growing each and every year. So if you're ever in Helen, Georgia, or in the States in March, you know, come on down to Helen, Georgia, and join us.
Well, put us on your mailing list, and when you have the details of exactly when it is next year, let us know, and we'll see if we can make it.
Will do. So without further ado, we're gonna say on a count of three. We're gonna say Doggers and Tschüss. Not just Doggers and Tschüss. We're gonna be animated. Doggers and Tschüss. All right, you ready? Let's do it. Eins, zwei, drei. Doggers and Tschüss. Ho-ho! Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all been wonderful.
And do something good in the world today.
I was waiting. Oh, that's great. That's great. You said it. I was thinking it. You said it. It got out there. That is awesome. Thanks, guys. And one more thing, folks, whoever listening right now, make sure you go check out Dara and Ian. Okay, make sure you go check them out right there. All right.
Thank you.
Doggers and Tschüss. Oh.